All right, you sick fucks. Welcome back to the deep dive. We're going deep into Chinese intelligence shit today, and it's going to be a wild ride. You guys sent in some intel from Wikipedia, and let me tell you, this shit's insane.
It is indeed a very dynamic and constantly evolving landscape.
Dynamic. More like a goddamn three-ring circus of spies, hackers, and honey traps. And we ain't talking about some Hollywood bullshit. This is the real deal.
The implications for global geopolitics and economics are substantial, to say the least.
All right, enough with the fancy talk. Let's get down to the nitty-gritty. First up, everyone's favorite motivator, cold, hard cash. China's been accused of stealing billions, maybe even trillions, in intellectual property and trade secrets. This ain't your grandma's cookie recipe. We're talking some seriously valuable shit.
The scale of economic espionage attributed to China is truly remarkable. It affects various industries, from technology and aerospace to pharmaceuticals and renewable energy.
So spill the beans. What kind of shit have they actually gotten their hands on?
There was this case in Peru where blueprints from several companies ended up in, get this, Chinese email accounts. And then there are the allegations about the F-35 fighter jet.
The F-35, that's supposed to be the most advanced fighter jet in the world. What the fuck did they steal?
The accusations claim they managed to snag the designs. We're talking about highly sophisticated military hardware.
Wait, they ripped off the F-35? Those things are supposed to be invisible to radar. Talk about adding insult to injury. What's the fallout from something like that?
Well, if it's true, it's a big win for China, intelligence-wise. They could figure out how to counter it, you know. That would mean the U.S. and their buddies wouldn't have such a big advantage anymore, and that could mess with the whole power balance in the region.
So they're snatching blueprints. What else are they up to?
Let's move on to cyber espionage. China's got a whole arsenal of advanced persistent threat groups, or APTs.
APTs. Sounds like some futuristic shit. Break it down for us.
Think of them as elite hacking squads. They're linked to China's military and intelligence agencies. They're highly skilled, they got a shit ton of money, and they don't give up easily. They sneak into systems, stay hidden for ages, and then steal all the valuable data.
So they're like the Navy SEALs of the hacking world. But instead of blowing shit up, they're stealing secrets.
That's a decent way to put it. One example is APT-10. They hacked a Norwegian software company to get to their customer data, which could be a big problem for individuals and businesses around the world. And then there's Bronze President. Some Japanese cybersecurity experts figured out they were stealing footage from security cameras at the African Union headquarters.
The African Union. Are you shitting me? They really don't give a fuck, do they? So blueprint theft and hacking. What other tricks do they have up their sleeves?
Well, they haven't forgotten about the classics. I'm talking about honey traps and compromise.
Honey traps and compromise. That's some Cold War shit.
You got it. Honey trapping is using seduction to get information. Compromat is digging up dirt on someone so you can blackmail them. One crazy example is Shi Pei-pu, this Chinese opera singer who was actually a spy for China and France.
Hold up, a dude pretending to be a chick to spy on the French. That's some next-level commitment. What the hell was he after?
Access, information, influence. It's classic Chinese intelligence. They're not afraid to use unconventional methods to get what they want. They know how to exploit human weakness.
So we've got money, cyber attacks, and good old-fashioned spy tactics. What else is in this intelligence cocktail?
Well, there's also the United Front Work Department. This organization plays a key role in their intelligence operations by leveraging overseas Chinese communities and organizations.
So they're using their own people as spies. Cold-blooded. Give us some examples.
One case was in Singapore. This well-respected academic at a top university was kicked out because they thought he was working for Chinese intelligence. And in India, a journalist and his crew were arrested for supposedly giving sensitive info to Chinese intelligence officers.
Damn, so anyone could be a target. Next time I order Chinese takeout, I'm going to be looking over my shoulder.
While your takeout is probably safe, the point is China's intelligence activities target a wide range of people and organizations, from governments and military bases to businesses, academics, and even religious groups.
Religious groups? Why the hell would they care about some monks meditating on a mountaintop?
China sees any group or individual that could criticize the Communist Party as a threat. They keep a close eye on them, trying to control those perceived threats. Think about the Dalai Lama, for example.
Oh, the Dalai Lama.
Yeah.
Public enemy #1 in their book, right?
He's a big name in the Tibetan independence movement, which China hates. They've put a ton of effort into watching him and trying to make him look bad.
Makes sense. But what about other targets? Who else pisses them off?
There was a weird case in the UK with a suspected Chinese spy called H6. This guy was supposedly tight with the British royal family, but they banned him from the country because they thought he was a spy.
Hold the phone. Chinese spies hanging out with the royals. This sounds like some Netflix drama.
Maybe not Netflix, but it shows you just how deep Chinese intelligence operations go. They're trying to get close to powerful people in all parts of society, from politicians and business leaders to academics and even royalty.
Damn, that's some shady shit. So basically, no one is safe from these sneaky bastards. What a fucked up world we live in.
It's a complicated and ever-changing world of threats. Understanding how these activities work is essential for anyone trying to protect themselves.
All right, you magnificent bastards. That's it for part 1 of our deep dive into the crazy world of Chinese intelligence. Stay tuned for part 2, where we'll uncover even more mind-blowing shit.
Welcome back to the deep dive. Before we got sidetracked with those royals, we were talking about how far Chinese intelligence operations reach.
Yeah, those sneaky fucks are everywhere.
Yeah.
It's like they're playing Risk and winning. Honey traps, compromise, that crazy opera singer dude straight out of the Cold War.
While they still use those old-school methods, their intelligence game has gotten a lot more sophisticated. They're really leaning into technology for spying.
Hold on, we already talked about their hacking skills. What else are they up to? Is this some Minority Report shit now?
We touched on their cyber espionage, but it goes deeper than that. They're using things like artificial intelligence and big data to gather intel and target people.
AI and big data. Shit, this is starting to sound like a sci-fi flick. Are we talking robots and algorithms spying on us now?
Not robots, but AI and big data are playing a bigger and bigger role in intelligence gathering. Take this Chinese company, ChinaDOD.jpg. They've been in the news because they're collecting a shit ton of data on people all over the world. Politicians, CEOs, academics, you name it.
Xinhua data, huh? What the fuck are they doing with all that data? Selling it to the highest bidder on the dark web?
Good question. They say they're just a private company that analyzes data. But a lot of experts think they're working with Chinese intelligence. They might be using that data to find people to recruit as spies or even blackmail.
So they're building a giant database of dirt on everyone. Talk about creepy as fuck. What if this shit gets into the wrong hands?
It definitely raises concerns about privacy and data security. It shows how advanced and far-reaching Chinese intelligence has become. They're thinking long-term, playing the long game.
Okay, so AI, big data, hacking, honey traps. What else is in their bag of tricks?
Yeah.
Are they using psychic powers now?
Not psychic powers, but there have been reports of Chinese intelligence using weird surveillance methods, like hiding listening devices in everyday objects. There was this thing where a British diplomat found a listening device in a pea pot, a gift from some Chinese officials.
A fucking teapot. Are you serious? That's some James Bond villain shit. What the hell were they thinking?
It sounds crazy, but it shows they're resourceful and will push the boundaries to get what they want. They're always coming up with new ways to spy.
All right, so these guys are sneaky as fuck and will do whatever it takes. But what's the end game? What are they trying to accomplish with all this espionage? Are they just trying to piss off the rest of the world, or is there a bigger plan?
It's complicated. On one hand, they're trying to get info that can help China's economy and military.
So the usual spy stuff, steal technology, weaken their enemies.
Yeah, but it's more than that. They're also trying to keep tabs on and control anyone they think might threaten the Communist Party's power, both inside and outside China.
So anyone who criticizes the almighty CCP is fair game.
Pretty much. They see any dissent as a threat, and they'll do whatever it takes to shut those people up.
Man, that's scary as shit. It's like we're living in an Orwell novel. Are we all just pawns in their game?
There are definitely some similarities between China's surveillance state and Orwell's 1984. The level of control they want over people is really disturbing.
Okay, enough with the doom and gloom.
Right.
What can we do about it? Should we all just accept that Big Brother Xi is watching? Or is there a way to fight back?
It's not hopeless. Governments and organizations can take steps to protect themselves from Chinese espionage.
Like what? Give us something to work with here.
A big one is investing in serious cybersecurity to protect against hacking and data breaches. Governments and businesses need to be proactive and find those weaknesses in their systems before the Chinese do.
So hire some badass hackers to fight the Chinese hackers. Sounds like a plan.
It's not that simple. Cybersecurity involves a lot of different things, like training employees, separating networks, and having systems that detect intrusions. It's about building a solid defense.
Okay, cybersecurity is important. What else can we do to fight back? Should we start wearing tinfoil hats and disappear off the grid?
While a tinfoil hat might not be a bad idea, raising awareness about Chinese espionage is key. People and organizations need to know how Chinese intelligence operates and the risks involved.
So basically scare the shit out of everyone so they're paranoid enough to be careful.
It's not about scaring people, but about making them aware and cautious. They need to understand the risks and take steps to protect themselves and their information.
Take cybersecurity awareness. Got it. Anything else? Should we all start learning Mandarin and practicing Kung Fu just in case?
While learning Mandarin and Kung Fu might be fun, strengthening international cooperation and intelligence sharing is crucial. Countries need to work together to counter Chinese espionage and hold them accountable.
So, gang up on the bully. Sounds fair to me.
It's about showing a united front and making it clear that their actions won't be tolerated. A coordinated global response is way more effective than individual countries going it alone.
Okay, I'm digging this plan. Cybersecurity awareness, international cooperation. It's a three-pronged attack against these sneaky bastards. But are we ready to kick some Chinese spy ass?
It's important to remember that fighting espionage is an ongoing battle. It requires constant vigilance, adapting to new threats, and always trying to stay one step ahead.
So it's a never-ending game of cat and mouse. Who's winning right now, the cat or the mouse?
The world of intelligence is constantly changing, with new tech and tactics popping up all the time. Both sides are always adjusting and trying to outsmart each other. It's a complicated dance with high stakes.
All right, so we've got our work cut out for us, but at least we're not going down without a fight. Before we wrap this up, let's zoom in on some specific examples of Chinese intelligence activity around the world. They've got their fingers in every pie, from Europe and Africa to the Americas and Oceania.
Definitely. They're active on every continent, targeting all sorts of people and groups. Let's start with Europe, where they've been particularly aggressive lately.
Europe, huh? What kind of shit have they been pulling over there? Trying to steal the secrets of French wine and cheese.
I can't confirm any culinary espionage, but there are a ton of reports about Chinese intelligence going after European governments, businesses, and research institutions. In Germany, for example, they've been accused of stealing industrial secrets and trying to sway politicians.
Damn, those Germans are known for their engineering. No wonder the Chinese are trying to steal their shit. What's the damage from this industrial espionage?
It's serious. They're getting their hands on advanced technology and intellectual property without putting in the time and money for research and development. That gives them an edge in the global market and could weaken their rivals' economies.
So it's not just about stealing secrets, it's about economic warfare. Sneaky bastards. Is Germany the only target, or are they causing trouble elsewhere in Europe?
Not just Germany, they've also been active in France, the UK, even the Vatican.
The Vatican? What the hell are they doing messing with the Pope? Trying to convert him to communism or something?
It's thought they were trying to gather intel on the Vatican's diplomatic efforts and its relationship with China. The Vatican's got a lot of global influence, and China wants to understand their motives and strategies.
So they're spying on God. That's ballsy. Okay, so Europe is a hotbed of Chinese spy activity. What about Africa? They've been investing a lot there, right? What's their game plan?
Yes, China's poured billions into infrastructure projects in Africa, and with that money comes more spies.
So they're using their economic power to gain influence in Africa. Smart move. But what about intelligence?
It's classic debt trap diplomacy. They use loans and investments to gain control over other countries. And they use that control to get what they want: resources, good trade deals, even support for their foreign policy.
I bet they're also using it to spy on them, right? Those sneaky bastards. Give us some examples of their activities in Africa.
One of the most notable examples is the bugging of the African Union headquarters, which, ironically, was built and funded by China.
They bugged their own building. That's next level shit. What were they hoping to get out of that?
It was a bold move that showed they're willing to spy on even their supposed partners. Bugging the headquarters gave them access to secret information, internal discussions, strategies, and relationships with other countries.
Damn, they really don't give a shit. So Europe, Africa, what about the Americas? Are they messing around in our backyard?
Absolutely. The U.S. especially has been a prime target of Chinese espionage for decades.
I bet. We've got all the cool tech and military secrets. What have they been after?
They've stolen everything from military technology to trade secrets, costing the U.S. economy billions of dollars.
Billions. Try trillions, my friend. And that's just what we know about. How does this economic espionage affect the U.S.?
The impact is huge. It weakens the U.S.'s technological advantage, hurts its economic competitiveness, and potentially even its national security. It also creates distrust and suspicion, making it harder to cooperate on shared goals.
So they're not just stealing secrets, they're trying to sabotage our economy and our global standing. That's fucked up.
It's a big problem, and the U.S. government is fighting back with counterintelligence, economic sanctions, and diplomatic pressure.
Okay, Europe, Africa, the Americas? What about down under? Are they causing trouble in Australia and New Zealand, trying to steal the secrets of kangaroo boxing or some shit?
They've been active there too, targeting governments, businesses, even universities.
Universities. Why the hell are they spying on college kids? Are they that desperate for information?
They want cutting-edge research and technology, and universities are often where the innovation happens. They might also be trying to find and recruit potential spies from the academic world.
Makes sense. So they're not leaving any stone unturned in their quest for world domination.
It seems that way. Their intelligence operations are massive and relentless. They're a serious challenge for countries everywhere.
All right, you magnificent bastards, let's take a breather and process all this mind-blowing information. We'll be right back to finish up this deep dive into the shadowy world of Chinese intelligence. Well, welcome back, you sneaky bastards. We're in the final round of our deep dive into the crazy world of Chinese intelligence. We've covered their tactics, their global reach, the threats they pose. It's a goddamn espionage buffet, and we're stuffed.
We've seen how they combine traditional espionage with cutting-edge tech and a massive network of people to get what they want.
Yeah, they're like the Walmart version of the Avengers, except instead of saving the world, they're trying to control it. But before we wrap this shit up, let's go back to something you mentioned earlier, the United Front Work Department.
Ah, yes, the United Front. It's a vital part of China's strategy, but often misunderstood in the West.
It sounds like some boring bureaucratic bullshit. What the hell is it, and why should we give a damn?
Basically, it's a huge organization dedicated to influencing and co-opting individuals and groups, both inside and outside of China. They want to push the Communist Party's agenda and shape how the world sees China.
So it's like a giant propaganda machine pumping out pro-China bullshit.
Propaganda is part of it, but it's more than that. They use all sorts of tactics, diplomacy, cultural exchanges, money, even threats to build relationships and influence decision-makers all over the world.
So they're playing the long game, trying to win hearts and minds with a smile and a handshake, all while secretly twisting arms.
Exactly. They're not just focused on stealing secrets or sabotaging rivals. They're actively trying to control the narrative and make China look good while subtly pushing their own agenda.
And I bet they're using the United Front to recruit spies and gather intel too, right? It's like a wolf in sheep's clothing.
Absolutely. The United Front is a perfect cover for spies. They can build relationships with potential sources under the guise of cultural or academic exchange. It's a sneaky and effective way to get into different parts of society.
So it's a giant, multifaceted spy network hiding in plain sight. These motherfuckers are sneaky as hell. What can we do to fight this shit?
Western governments and intelligence agencies are starting to realize how dangerous the United Front is and how much influence they have. They're ramping up efforts to keep an eye on them and counter their influence, especially in sensitive areas like universities, tech, and politics.
Good to know someone's paying attention. Well, thanks for shining a light on this shady organization. I think we've all learned a valuable lesson today. Never underestimate the Chinese. They're playing a different game, and they're not afraid to cheat to win.
It's important to be aware of the threats and protect ourselves from their intelligence operations. But it's also important to engage with China constructively, talk to them, and cooperate on things we both care about while sticking to our values and principles.
Sounds like a plan. We don't want another Cold War, but we also don't want to get our asses kicked. So as we wrap up this deep dive into the murky world of Chinese intelligence, I want to leave you glorious bastards with one final thought. Keep your eyes open, your wits about you, and maybe invest in a good VPN. You never know who might be watching or listening. Stay safe out there, and until next time, keep digging for the truth.